The sun rose over Mwogu village with a hard red glow. The elders gathered at the square and found the royal stool broken into two. This stool carried the spirit of the ancestors and no hand was meant to touch it without cause. News spread fast and fear followed it. The people whispered that the crown itself was now in danger. Without the crown the land would lose order and protection. Obioma the king's son stood silent among the crowd. He was young but sharp and he felt the weight of the moment. His eyes followed every elder as they argued. Old Isnoy struck the ground with his staff. He said the breaking was a sign of betrayal from within. The ancestors were warning them. Before sunset, armed guards were sent to protect the palace. The crown was moved to the inner shrine. Tension filled every home. That night Obioma heard footsteps near the shrine. He reached for his father's spear and ran into the dark. The thief moved fast across the compound. Obioma chased him past the yam barns and into the forest edge. Branches cut their skin as they ran. The thief slipped on wet leaves and fell. Obioma pinned him down and pulled back his mask. It was Chike the palace guard. Chike shook with fear and said he was forced. He said a powerful man promised wealth if he helped steal the crown. He refused to name the man. Village guards dragged Chike away. Obioma felt anger and confusion. A guard had turned against his own people. At dawn the elders met again. They decided Chike would face judgment after the festival. First they had to find the mastermind. Obioma volunteered to investigate. His father agreed but warned him to be careful. The market day came with noise and color. Women sold palm oil and fish while men argued prices. Obioma moved quietly among them. Suddenly smoke rose from the far end. A fire had started near the blacksmith's shed. People ran and screamed. Obioma saw a man drop a burning torch and flee. He chased him through narrow paths and caught him in. Before sunset the king died. The village cried and drums of mourning filled the air. Obioma felt grief and fear. Leadership had come faster than expected. That night he sat alone before the shrine. The crown rested in its place watching him. Nana was brought before the people. Evidence was shown and witnesses spoke. His own allies turned away. He was found guilty of betrayal. The elders stripped him of titles and sent him into exile. No blood was shed. The people gathered for the coronation. The square was cleaned and decorated. Songs of old kings were sung. Obioma stepped forward in simple cloth. He knelt before the shrine and bowed his head. The eldest priest lifted the crown. He placed it slowly on Obioma's head. A shout rose from the crowd. A new king had risen. Not all accepted Obioma. Some farmers refused to bring tribute. They tested his strength. Obioma did not send soldiers. He went to their farms and walked beside them. He listened to their complaints. He ordered fair land sharing and reduced heavy demands. The farmers saw his honesty. Word spread that the new king was just. Resistance faded without force. Obioma learned that power could heal or destroy. He chose care over fear. The crown felt lighter each day. A neighboring village heard of the change. Their warriors crossed the border and stole cattle. They believed the young king was weak. Obioma called his council. He prepared the warriors but also sent messengers for peace. The enemy refused peace. Battle came at dawn near the river. Obioma led from the front. His courage lifted the warriors. They pushed the attackers back. The enemy retreated in defeat. Mwogu stood strong again. Years passed and Obioma ruled with wisdom. The village grew rich in peace and trade. Children learned stories of the broken stool and the night thief. They learned that greed destroys and truth builds. The crown became a symbol not of power but of duty. It reminded the king who he served. Obioma often visited the shrine alone. He thanked the ancestors for guidance. When he grew old he trained the next leader with care. He did not cling to power. And so the crown endured not because of gold but because of the heart that carried it.